run through this question in about 3 minutes time, okay? Hi everyone. Hi. For those of you who just joined, welcome. My name is Coach Shahira from MasterMaths. Today we are running through some prelim questions, some adapted prelim questions for our PSLE Maths Revision series, alright? We will run through the solution in about 2 minutes time. If you would like to get your hands on our resources and this worksheet in particular, you can head over to our Telegram channel. The link is above there. Or you can go on to Telegram and search for MasterMaths PSLE. You should be able to find our channel and you can join us to get more free resources, okay? For those of you who are already here, welcome. I hope you are able to help us like this video and share it with all of your classmates and your friends and your family so that we can all learn together, okay? All right. Okay, let's run through the solution in 1 minute's time. Mahasin, you got the right answer. Fantastic. All right. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome. For those of you who are here, how are we doing tonight? I hope you are able to hear me well. Welcome to yet another live class with me, Coach Shahira from MasterMaths. We are going through some questions from 2023 prelim papers. Okay? Hello. All right. Shall we run through the solution now? Question 1. Again, for those of you who are interested to get your hands on our resources, please feel free to join our Telegram channel. The link is right here so that you can get your hands on free resources including this worksheet and all the past worksheets that we have given out so far, all right? Okay, so let's run through question number 1. Question number 1 is on volume. And we are given, this is actually adapted from Maristella paper 1. We are given 2 cubical tanks A and B and they were completely filled with identical cubes. Okay, so we know that they were completely filled with cubes. The larger tank A has twice the length, twice the breadth and twice the height of the smaller tank. Now we also know that tank B was filled with 64 identical cubes. So we need 64 of these smaller cubes to fill tank B. Now we want to find out how many cubes are needed to fill tank A. Okay? So a lot of students will do this. 64 times 2 because they say twice. Do you think this will be correct? 64 times 2? A lot of you have actually given this as the answer. 64 times 2. What do you think? A lot of you are saying, no, you're right. We cannot do 64 times 2. Why is that so? Now, we are given 64 identical cubes. Agree? If we are given 64 identical cubes, what we can do is to find out how many cubes can fit along the length, along the breadth, and along the height of B. Okay, so if we were to take the cube root of 64, this will give us 4. Okay, anybody knows why we take the cube root of 64? Anyone knows why we take the cube root of 64? What's the reason that we are taking a cube root of 64? Any ideas? Okay. Recall, to find the volume of a tank, of a cubical tank, yes, we need to take the length times the breadth times the height. Agree? Length times breadth times height. So if we take cube root, we know that along the length, breadth and height, we have 4 cubes each. So far, can follow? Right? So we have the length, we have the breadth, we have the height of the smaller one. And since we know that the larger tank has twice the length, twice the breadth, twice the height, we can just multiply this by 2. Okay? So in that case, we know that for A, I will have 8 along the length, 8 along the breadth, and 8 along the height, since it's double of B. Okay? So with that, our final answer for the number of cubes used to fill tank A completely would be 8 times 8 times 8 to give us 512. Okay? Alright. Any questions? Now there are other ways to solve this question as well. I see that some of you have actually shared with us on the chat. You're right. There are other ways to solve this question as well, okay? Alright, so let me show you method number 2. So far, everybody good? Okay, so let's run through method 2 here. Now for method 2, we just need to know how many times of B can fit into A. How many times of B can fit into A? And how do we do that? We can look for the ratios of the length, or the sides rather. The ratio of the sides would be A to B is 2:1. Agree? Hi you guys. Welcome. Alright, so now that we know the ratio of the sides is 2:1, we can actually find the ratio of the volume. Now to find the ratio of the volume, we just have to cube these values. Okay, why we cube these values? Because the volume of a cube is basically side times side times side. Okay, the volume of a cube is side times side times side. So this will give us 8:1. So we know that we need 8 times of B to fit into A. Therefore, if B has 64 here, I just need 2 times 8 to give me 512. Alright, which is over here. Let me bring it into view so that you can see. This is our method 2. Okay, everybody able to see? One more time. The ratio of the sides A to B is 2:1. Agree? The ratio of the sides A to B is 2:1. And since we already know the ratio of the sides, we can find the ratio of the volume. We just have to cube these values. Okay, so cube of 2 is 8. Cube of 1 will still be 1. Why we cube? Because to find the volume of a cube, we just have to take length times length times length. Okay? So that is why we cube this. 2 times 2 times 2 will give us 8. So far so good? Alright, so in the end, our final answer will still be option number 4. Okay? Alright. Everybody good? Okay. Hi Alia. Alright. So far so good? Okay. We will move on to question 2 in a bit. For now, if you are clear, can you please help us spam the like button? Please help us spam the like button and also share this live with your family and friends, okay? Alright, before we move on to question 2, I just want to check in with all of you. How did you find English and Mother Tongue Listening Compre? It was on Monday, right? Was it on Monday? English and Mother Tongue Listening Compre. Sorry, it was on Friday, right? How did you guys find it? Hi, Alaric. How many of you found the English listening compre hard? I saw quite a number of people, or rather, I had quite a number of people tell me that it was tough. Was it very tough? Oh dear. Malay was easy for you, Nihal, that's good. Chinese was not difficult. Oh, Chinese was hell, oh dear. Oh dear. The last question was hard, I see. For those of you who found both to be okay, that's good to hear. But for those of you who found English or Mother Tongue to be hard, I hope you are not too affected by it. Just focus all your time and energy on all the other papers that come, okay? All right. Good to hear your responses. That's very nice. Okay, thank you for responding. Shall we now move on to question number 2? Okay. All right. For those of you who just joined, welcome. My name is Coach Shahira from MasterMaths. Today, we are going through some prelim paper questions. Okay, they are adapted from 2023 prelim papers. And we are running through 5 questions for today. We will now move on to question number 2. Okay? All right. If you would like to get your hands on our worksheet, please feel free to join our Telegram channel so that you can get your hands on all of our free resources. Okay? All right. Shall we move on? Okay. Question number 2. Question number 2 is adapted from the Catholic High Prelims, Paper 1. This is actually a very similar question appeared in PSLE as well. If I'm not wrong, it was about fitting tennis balls into boxes or containers. Okay, so a very similar question appeared in actual PSLE paper as well. Okay, for those of you who are asking how to join the Telegram channel, you can look up this link. It's right here. Or you can go to Telegram and search for MasterMaths PSLE. Okay? Right. Okay, so let's go through this question. Now, there are a few key points that we need to take note about this question. Let's take a look. Mrs. Tan packed 252 eggs into large trays and small trays. Each large tray was filled with 8 eggs, and each small tray was filled with 5 eggs. Okay, I hope everybody is able to see the diagram. Now, all the trays were full. This is very important. All the trays were full and there were no eggs left over. So that means I've packed everything into the trays and all of the trays are full. Okay, so far so good? All right. The question is asking us for the least total number of trays that she used. Since we want the least total number, let's break it down part by part, okay? Since we want the least total number, can you tell me, do I want to fit everything into as many of the bigger tray or as many of the smaller tray as possible? What do we think? Fit as much into the big one or as much into the small one as possible? If we want the least total number, what do we think? Right, some of you have typed it in. Those of you who are saying as many bigger ones as possible, you are right. Because I want very little tray, I will put everything into big containers first. Okay? That is my thought process. Since I want small number, the least number, I will put everything into bigger trays first. Okay? So with that thought in mind, we will take 252 divided by 8. Agree? 252 divided by 8. Alright, so if you take 252 divided by 8, you are going to get a remainder of 4. You are going to get 31 with a remainder of 4. Right? 31 with a remainder of 4. Now here's where a lot of students tend to make mistakes. So they know, okay, least number of trays means as many big ones as possible. So we divide by 8. Yes, that's the correct first thought process. But a lot of students tend to fail at the second step. So what they tend to do is this. Remainder 4 means I need 1 more tray. So if remainder 4 means I need 1 more tray, means I take 31 plus 1, answer 32. Do you think this is correct? Can I take 31 plus extra 1 more tray? Do you think we can do that? What do you guys think? Can I do that? Some of you are saying yes, some of you are saying no. Okay? Let me give you a hint. If I want all my trays to be full, do you think I can fit this into any of the trays? Most of you are saying no now. Fantastic. Because I want my trays to be full. Now this remainder 4 is not going to be enough. to fit into the smaller tray. Okay, this one cannot fit into small tray perfectly. So far so good. We cannot fit this into a smaller tray perfectly, therefore we cannot have 32 trays as our answer. Okay? Now more and more of you are getting it right. Fantastic job. The answer is indeed option 4. How do we get to option 4? So now that I have 31 trays, if I cannot fit the small one into the remainder into a smaller tray perfectly, what I need to do is undo. Take out one big tray and fit into smaller ones. So far can understand? Okay, I need to take out one big tray, all the eggs put into smaller ones instead. Okay, so that I can fit the eggs into trays perfectly. So what I want to do here is to look for the number of eggs remainder as I take out one large tray at a time. So this is your large tray, this is the eggs, and this is the remainder. Now most importantly, my remainder has to be what? What kind of characteristic must my remainder be? Anybody knows? Roja, you are right. 8 plus 4 is the next step. Yes. So for my large tray, I have 31 large tray now. The eggs will be 31 times 8. And this will give us 248. Okay, my remainder is 4. What kind of characteristic must my remainder be so that I will get the correct answer? Anybody knows? A lot of you are saying it right. Mahasin, you are right. You wise, let's see. Firdaus, you are right. Okay, Firdaus, you are right. Okay, so indeed, my remainder must be a multiple of 5. Okay, it must be divisible by 5 so that I can fit into small trays. Therefore, I need an extra column to check if I can divide by 5. Okay, this is so that I can fit into small trays perfectly. Okay, so far so good. Alright, so with this, I will take out one large tray. So now I have 30. That leaves me with 240 eggs here, and my remainder is 12. Again, 12 I cannot fit into a perfect one big and one small. Or I cannot even fit into perfectly into small trays. Okay, so this will also be out. So what I'm doing here is I am undoing, taking out one tray of eggs at a time and regrouping them into the smaller trays. Okay, so with this I will move on. I have 29 here. That will leave me with 232 and my remainder is 20. Perfect. Now I can divide this by 5 perfectly. Everybody understand? Okay, so now that I can divide this by 5 perfectly, the number of small trays will then be 20 divided by 5 to give us 4. So our total trays would be 29 plus 4 to give us 33. Can we understand so far? Okay, can we understand so far? Alright, so let me answer some questions that you have. Okay, someone is asking, is this guess and check? This is not exactly guess and check. What we are doing here is the method of listing. Okay, what we are doing here is the method of listing, not guess and check. So what's the difference between listing and guess and check? Now for listing, you are taking your most sort of like your first initial answer and you are undoing your steps one by one so that you get to the correct answer. Okay, basically you are doing this step by step, one by one. Okay, now guess and check, there is basically no sort of logic behind guess and check. You're just checking or guessing certain numbers from under the sky. And then you're checking if that works. So that's the difference between guess and check. Okay? Okay, someone is asking, what if it keeps going on and on? Does it waste a lot of time? Usually, okay, this actually came out in a PSLE also. Usually, they will not give you a number such that you have to go on and on, because the number of marks must correspond to your steps. If you take very long to solve and they only give you maybe 1 or 2 marks, then it's not worth it. Okay? So yeah, they will not really give you such a funny or difficult numbers to work with. Usually by the 4th or maximum the 5th step, you should be able to get it already. Usually like that. Okay? Any other questions? Alright, so I'm going to explain this one more time. If you get it, please help me spam the like button, please. Thank you very much. Alright. So let me explain this question one more time, okay? First thought process, step 1, in my head, when I see this question, I need to remember that all my trays are full, okay? That's the very first thought process that I must have. Second thought process, the question wants least total number. If I want least total number, I need as many big ones as possible. So I will take 252 divided by 8, as many big ones as possible. Okay? Understand? So once I get as many big ones as possible, I need to now look for the number or the remainder that can easily be divided by 5 without any remainders. Again, why? Because all my trays must be full. So if I have 31 large trays, I will have 4 eggs left. I cannot put them into the small tray because I will have extra space. I don't want extra space. Okay, the small tray can fit 5. This one only has 4, so I cannot do that. Okay, so the only other thing that I can do is to take out one large tray of 8 eggs and regroup them to the small ones. So if I have 8 with a remainder of 4, that leaves my remainder to be 12. Again, I cannot fit them into the small trays nicely. So I take out another large tray. So if I take out another large tray, I'm left with 29 large trays. Okay, so 2 of my large trays, what happened? I take out and regroup them. So 2 of my large trays is 16, plus the remainder 4 is 20 eggs. So now 20 eggs I can divide by 5 nicely. And therefore, I can fit into the small trays perfectly without any spaces. Okay? That's fantastic, you guys. Now you understand. Perfect. The rest of you can follow. Okay, how long do we need to take to answer this question? This is a 2-mark question. So if you do the math around, if 1 mark is around 1.5 minutes, 2 marks will be 3 minutes. Okay, so 2 marks, 3 minutes. Any other questions? Okay. So far, so good? Alright. Of course, we can continue, yeah? We can continue taking out more and more large ones. Okay? We can continue to take out more and more large ones and regroup them into the smaller trays. But I cannot do that because I want the least total number. So I want to regroup as little as possible so that I use as little small trays as possible. Okay? Alright, perfect. A lot of you are understanding this. Perfect. Shall we now move on to the next question? Okay. Alright. Let's go on to the next question. Okay. Before that, can I give you 5 seconds to help me spam the like button, please? Thank you very much. Okay, 5, 4. Please help me double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Thank you very, very much. For those of you who just joined, welcome. My name is Coach Shahira. We are doing our weekly PSLE Maths Revision series. And these questions that we are doing today are adapted from 2023 Prelim papers, the most recent one this year. Okay? Alright, before we go on, I have one last question. Actually, 2 people are asking this question. Can we use guess and check for question 2? The answer is yes, of course. We can use guess and check for any questions that we are stuck at. We can use guess and check for any questions that we are stuck at. Okay? To ensure that we will get the mark, we can use guess and check. But if you use guess and check, okay, what I'm asking you is this. If you use guess and check, do you know which number to start with? If you don't divide 252 by 8 to give you 31 and you start with 31, if you use random guess and check, do you know what number to start with? That's something for you to ponder about, okay? Alright? If, let's say, you use guess and check, you don't divide, you don't know where to start from. You don't know that, oh, I need to start from 31 and unpack large trays and slowly pack them, regroup them into smaller trays. Then you don't know that we have to start from 31 and work our way down. Then your answer may be it will take very long to find, okay? If you don't use if you don't know that you need to start from 31. Got it? Okay, let's move on to question number 3. Now, question number 3 is interesting. Okay, question number 3 is from our Maristella paper 2. Let's take a look. Okay. Alright. That's great to hear that you learned something new. Fantastic. Okay, so I will answer your question in a while, yeah? Nihao? Okay, question 3. The diagram below shows 4 identical right-angled triangles. In fact, they are not just right-angled, they are also isosceles. And we have a quadrant enclosed in it, basically what the diagram has given you, okay? You know that the quadrant has a radius of 14 cm and you want to find the area of the shaded part. Now, this is in paper 2, so you can use your calculator. For those of you in P5, you will learn more about circles in time to come, but you can still stay on and listen to this because the technique of solving is very well used in other area and perimeter questions as well, okay? Alright, so let's talk about this question. We are given 4 right-angled triangles and they are isosceles, and we also know that inside is our quadrant with a radius of 14 cm. So what I'm going to do straight away is to fill in our radius. We know that this is the radius. This is our 14 cm. Okay? How many of you are able to solve this question? Anyone? Able to solve this question? If you are unable to solve this question, please type in an SOS for me. I see one SOS already. UIS is asking everybody else for the answer. You try. This question seems tough. It's seemingly tough. But the solution is so beautifully simple that you will understand the moment I give you this hint, or the moment we do something to this diagram, okay? So what's the hint here? In our normal area and perimeter questions, especially with circles involved, okay, what we want to remember is the idea of cut and paste. If I cannot find something a certain way, I can cut here, cut there, cut here, cut there, or paste here, paste there, until I get something that I am familiar with, something that I can find, okay? So yes, a lot of you have found the area of the quadrant. Fantastic. What I want to give you as a hint is this. Okay, what I want to give you as a hint is this. We can actually cut and paste and rearrange these shapes. Can you all try that? Shan, the answer is not 266. Good try though. Good try. For those of you who are getting 4-digit number as your answer, it's not so big. Can you try that again? Okay. Alright. Everybody able to see where I'm getting at? We can cut and paste or rearrange these triangles. Okay, we can rearrange these triangles. Right. Do we still need more SOS? The answer is also not 146. I see some of you have given that answer. It's not 224. So far, nobody has gotten the correct answer yet. How is it coming along so far? 1, 3, 4, no. Try that again. Good try, everyone. Keep trying. Well done. Keep trying. You're getting there, okay? Keep trying. A lot of you are very close to the answer. It's 100 plus. Okay, the answer is 100 plus. What do you think, or how do you think we can arrange what we already have here? Bearing in mind that we have 4. We have 4 triangles. Okay, what can 4 triangles come together to join or to form? Shall I reveal the answer now? Do you want to know the answer? Yes, somebody is saying whole circle. Yes, whole circle is what we are looking at. What else other than the whole circle? Looking at 4 triangles. How can we rearrange 4 triangles? What kind of simple shape can we get? What kind of simple shape can we get from 4 triangles? Someone has correctly mentioned the shape. Yes, more and more of you are getting it. Yes, we can get a square. Fantastic. 4 triangles put together in a certain way, we can get a square. Indeed. So, and if we have quadrants inside these triangles, and we have 4 of them, we can also form 4 quadrants form a circle, right? So we have a square, we have a circle. How do you think it will look like? We have a square, we have a circle. How do you think it will look like? Okay, one more time. Where did the square come from? Where did the circle come from? Okay, a square came from the 4 triangles. Just rearrange them. And the circle also came from the quadrants. Rearrange them. So many people are getting it. Very good. I'm so happy for you. Yes. Wonderful, Firdaus. Yes. That's right. Yeah, a lot of you are getting it. Fantastic. Shan, well done. JJ, good job. Very good. Indeed, we will get a circle inside a square. This is what we will get. Okay, everybody able to see? So how did we get this? First one at the bottom. Second one, we just flip. Third one, flip. Fourth one, flip. Able to see? Then this becomes so easy, right? More and more of you are getting it. Fantastic. For those of you who are not able to visualize, you just got to turn until you get it. Okay? If you get a diamond instead, you should still be able to get the same method. A square minus circle. Just a tilted square to form a diamond. Yes, a lot of you are getting it. Fantastic. Indeed, the answer is 168 cm square. So to find the shaded area, all we need to do, our plan is to take the square minus the circle. Okay? Now, I have written a plan here. I wish to share this tip with you guys, okay? When we are dealing with circles questions, especially when we have a lot of differing shapes, like a boomerang or like a half leaf. Remember boomerang and half leaf in circles topic? Okay, whenever we have such questions or when we have cut and paste, this and that, the most important, or not the most important, but the most helpful strategy is to write out our plan, our big idea. In this question, it seems pretty straightforward. We just take a square minus a circle, that's it. But in certain questions, we may have to find this part, find that part, find this, find that, and then plus that, minus this, minus that. We have to find many, many things. So the most helpful strategy is to write our overarching plan so that in between our calculation, we don't lose sight of what we are looking for, okay? Good? All right. So one more time, I am going to highlight the triangles for those of you who are not able to see it. I have a triangle here. This is my purple triangle. Okay. Then I have, let's choose another color. I have a green one here. I hope you're able to see. Let me make it a little bit thicker. Then my green one, I just have to flip. My green one will be, in fact, my green one can be on top. Okay? Able to see it now? So all I'm doing is actually just flipping it around. Okay? So let's use a nice, like a turquoise color. This one here, I just have to flip it around. 2 give me the one at the side. And you see where I'm going with this, right? Okay, then the fourth one, I just have to flip it around. Okay, flip 90 degrees. Got it? Okay. So yes, the answer is 168. Let me quickly run through. For those of you who are interested in the app that I'm using and the colors that you like, I am actually using the Notability app. It is a paid app, if I'm not wrong, on iPad. So if you're interested, you can use that for your learning as well. Okay, so let me run through this with you. We can take a square. The area of the square would be 28 times 28 because our length is 28. 2 radius together to give us our length. This will be, let me check the solution, 784. Okay, then our circle, let me shift this slightly so that I'm not blocking it. Our circle will be pi 22 over 7 times radius 14 times radius 14. This will give us 616. Okay? So shaded would then be 784 minus 616 to give us final answer 168 cm square. Any questions? Okay. Yes, Notability is an app on Apple. I don't think this app is available on Android, in case you're wondering. Alright, so why 28? Because we have a radius here, another radius here, to form the length of the square. Okay? Alright, 28 times 28 will give us 784 indeed. Yes, this is actually what we did. Roja, if you're asking, is it okay to find square minus whole circle? That's exactly what we are doing. Square is 784 minus circle 616. Okay? Alright. So far so good. If you have found this question to be interesting and you have learned a new way of visualizing things, can you please help me spam the like button? Thank you very much. Varun, good question. To find the separate arcs and times 4. Well, if we want to find area, finding the arc is not going to help us to find the area. Okay? Because we want the space inside. Arc is only the outer part. I hope that answers your question. Diana, Jessie, is your name Diana? Am I saying it wrong? I hope your name is Diana. Please get well soon, okay? I see that actually I have heard of quite a number of people getting sick. T6 students getting sick. So please take care of yourself. Wear a mask if you need to. There is yet another wave of COVID. So please take care of yourself, okay? Drink lots and lots and lots of water. I hope you're feeling better and you will feel better soon. Take care of yourself, okay? Eat well, drink plenty of water, and have enough sleep. Although revising is important, you need to have enough sleep, okay? No worries, Varun. Let's continue to the next question, okay? Alright. Please help me spam the like button. Thank you very much, everyone. For those of you who just joined, welcome. My name is Coach Shahira. We are down to our second last PSLE Maths Revision series. Next week, we will have yet another live lesson. And then it will be down to your PSLE. For those of you who are not taking PSLE this year, for those of you who are in P5, we will continue our live lessons even in October. So you can please continue to join us. And in October, we will just focus on P5 topics and P5 revision, okay? Alright. For those of you who just joined, welcome. My name is Coach Shahira. From MasterMaths, we are running through some prelim paper questions from the most recent this year, 2023 prelim papers. Okay, and we are down to our fourth question. All right, let's move on. Fourth question, also very interesting. This is adapted from Rosyth Prelims Paper 2, also 2023 paper. Okay, please try this question now. Please try this question now. For those of you who mentioned that your prelim was bad or was hard, please don't be discouraged. Try to revise through all your mistakes, okay? From now till PSLE, we don't have a lot of time left. Please try to sit down. Instead of jamming or cramming yourself with more questions, try to look through your past mistakes and make sure that you are experts at those types of questions that you did before. Okay? All right. Some SOS coming in. So what do we do if we have a folding question, class? Everyone, what do we do if we have a folding question? Anyone knows? When we have folding, what do we do? This is an important strategy to note. If we have a folding question, whether it be angles or area and perimeter, if folding is involved, what do we want to do? Yes, Dean, you're right. We unfold. Instead of just visualizing and imagining, we can unfold and draw it out. Okay, we can unfold and draw it out. We want to draw out the original. And how do we draw out this original unfolded? We want to draw it on top of what we already have on the folded part, so that we know which parts go where. Okay? Can everybody try this? Sure, Fayaz, thanks for letting me know. Amira, you find this doable? That's good. We can unfold. So everyone, if you are struggling with this question, try to draw out the strip of paper on top of this folded part, so that you can see what parts go where. Okay? Try to draw that. I will show you how it will look like in a second. Okay, yes, we have to unfold indeed. Okay. I have already pre-drawn how it looks like unfolded. So I'm going to show you in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let me show you how it looks like unfolded, okay? Then you can check whether you have gotten it right. Let me bring it up. So this is what it looks like unfolded. Everybody able to see? Able to visualize? If you're still drawing, you can continue drawing, okay? Continue drawing, then you look up and check if it's the same. Alright, so how did I get this? How did I get this? Let me use colors one more time. Purple. This part will go, or actually came from here. Okay, this rectangular part, unfold, comes here. Okay? Then similarly, the triangle, unfold goes there. This part A, unfold goes there. Okay, similarly on the other side, I will use this purple part as well, since they look the same and they have the same area. This is where it was originally. Okay? Able to see? All good? Okay. Shall I continue now? Firdaus, are you okay? Able to visualize? Okay, let me continue, yeah? Alright. Okay, so for this question, we are given a strip of paper. We are told that this is 60 cm long, so I can fill it in. This is 60 cm long. If I unfold, of course, at the bottom, this will also be 60 cm long. Agree? Okay, so far so good. Now, the question gave us a very important clue. In fact, it is the only other clue that we have. Thus, we have to use that to help us solve the question. Okay, and this clue is that the difference in area is 30 cm square. Okay, so far so good. So if the difference in area is 32 cm square, not 30, sorry, 32 cm square, we just have to look at what are the parts that is in the original strip that is not in the folded strip. Okay, what are the parts that is in the original strip that is not in the folded strip, which I have actually already highlighted. These are the 4 triangles. Okay, so let me show you. In the original strip, this is what it looks like, right? This is the, this is the original strip. Okay? Now, whatever that's not in the original strip are the triangles highlighted in red. Why? Because we have a double, overlapping portion. The triangles here are overlapping with each other. So all these parts highlighted in red are actually the difference. That's right, because of the overlap. Okay? So far so good? So that's the very first conclusion. The difference is because of the overlapping triangles. Okay, let me write down maybe here. Difference in area is due to 4 overlapping triangles. Okay, the 4 triangles are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Alright, then the 4 triangles, notice, okay, I'm going to zoom in all the way here. The 4 triangles have the same base and heights. Okay, let me use a different color. The base and the height of this triangle is the same because they come from the same side. So basically the base here, let me remove this here. The base here, actually if I unfold, it comes up here. So they must be the same. Everybody can follow? The base here, if I unfold, it comes up here. So they must be the same and they are equal to the breadth of the big strip. Okay? That's why we have, let me remove this so that it's not so blur. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. All these are the same length. Okay? Alright, so because of this, due to the 4 overlapping triangles, I know that 4 triangles will equal to 32 cm square. Agree? 4 triangles equals to 32 cm square. Okay? Now how do I find the breadth? Because I'm interested in the area, I just need to find the area of the big one, then I can find the area of the folded one. Okay? So how do I find the area of the big one? I need a breadth. Now if you have 4 triangles, notice that 2 triangles form 1 square. Okay? 2 triangles equals to 1 square will then be 32 divided by 2 to give us 16. Okay? Are you guys able to solve this question now? So if the small square here, this small square is 16 cm square, are we able to find the breadth of the square? Are we able to find the breadth of the square? If we are given area, how do I find the side of a square? A lot of students are still not very familiar with this technique. Okay, I'm going to write it down at the side here. Given area of square, we square root to find length. Okay, so how does this help? If I have 16, I can square root to find the breadth. Okay, so the breadth of the strip will be square root 16 to give us 4. Okay? So if the breadth of the strip is square root 16, which is 4, we can then find the folded area by looking for the area of the, we can find the folded area by looking for the area of the bigger strip first. Okay? Alright, so let me finish up this question and then I will answer some of your concerns and queries, yeah? So if I have the breadth of the strip, then I have the original. The original area will be 60 times 4 to give us 240. Let me scroll up. 60 times 4 is 240. Then I can find the folded area, which is 32 cm squared less. So 240 minus 32 to give us 208. Final answer, 208 cm squared. Okay. Alright, I am going to explain this one more time for those of you who are not so sure. Alright, so far so good. The rest of you okay? Alright. Now, why do we subtract in the last step instead of add? We are only told the difference. We don't know whether it's bigger or smaller. Well, actually, we do know. When we unfold, we have parts of these that are missing. Okay, so the folded area must be smaller than the original strip. Okay, so one more time, yeah, one more time. This is my original strip. This is my folded strip. What happens if I unfold everything? I will get overlapping triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4 overlapping triangles. Okay, let me just draw out this arrow up, arrow up. Okay, so if I unfold everything, I will get some overlapping triangles here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when they overlap and we find the area, we are only finding one of them. Okay, we are not finding bottom part. Okay, so with that in mind, if we are not finding the bottom part, we are missing 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. That is what causes the difference of 32 cm squared. Can follow so far? Okay, these 4 triangles that are overlapping one on top of another, we only count the top one when we find the shaded area. Okay, so the bottom one we are not counting. That's why we are missing 4 triangles, and that's why our area dropped to give us a difference of 32 cm squared. Okay, so if our area dropped, this is because of the 4 overlapping triangles. So 4 of these triangles will be 32 cm squared. These are the missing ones from the original strip. Okay? Firdaus, better now? Okay, then from there, I know that 4 triangles is 32 cm squared. And I also know that if I join 1 and 2 together, okay, if I join 1 and 2 together, I get a square. Why do I get a square? Why are 4 sides the same? Because if I unfold this part, it gets here. So that means the length and the breadth are equal. They are equal, which will equal to the breadth of the strip. Okay? So I will get a square. 2 triangles form a square. I can look for 2 triangles to find the breadth of the strip. So 2 triangles will be 32 divided by 2 to give us 16. And therefore, the breadth of the strip will be 4. Square root 16 is 4. So 4 times 4 gives us 16. That's why we have the breadth as 4. So now we have the breadth as 4. We can take 60 times 4 to give us the big one. And we take away the 32 from the 4 triangles to give us the folded strip. Okay? How did I get 32? The question told me. The difference in area between the strip of paper and the folded strip is 32. The question told me it's 32. That's how I use 32. Okay? That was fantastic. So far, okay? Everybody clear? Alright, if you're clearer now, can you help me spam the like button, please? Okay, why divide by 2? Why not divide by 4? Good question. I divide by 2 because I want to find square. If you divide by 4, let me show you at the side here. Okay, if I have 4 triangle, 4 right angled triangle, divide by 4 gives us, basically this is 32, right? So 1 triangle right angled is 8. 8 times 4, 32. So I must find half times what times what? Same number to give me 8. Okay, let me make it a bit smaller so you're able to see what I'm writing. Okay, why I find 2 triangles instead of 1? It's because I want to find a square, because I want to focus on this. So if I find one triangle, I have extra steps to do. I get rid of the half by multiplying by 2. I will get 1 times blank times blank. These are the same to give us 16. So 1 I can take away. That is how I get 2 triangles here. Okay, 2 triangles here. Can follow? Okay, that's why I find 2, not find 1. Because I want a square so that I can square root. Okay, this question, I have some other queries here. This question is a 4-mark question. If I recall correctly, this is a 4-mark question. How long do we need to take to solve this question? Not 2 minutes. Oh dear, 2 minutes means you're very fast. This is a 4-mark question from Rosai's paper 2. 4 marks, 4 times 1.5. Let's check. You will take about 6 minutes. Okay, about 6 minutes. We are left with one more question. I'm sorry for taking your time. We are left with one more question. So stay with me, okay, guys? Thank you so much once again for spending your evenings with me. And for those of you who I am seeing every week, thank you so much. Really. Thank you for learning together with me. All right. Okay, all good? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay. Thank you so much, Minnie. All right. Okay, let me quickly run through so that those of you who are having curfew, you are able to catch up with the last question. But not to worry, guys. This live lesson can be found on our YouTube channel as well, okay? So you can go and view that when you have the time. Thank you so much for all your kind words, Mahasin. Very, very nice of you. Jess, very nice of you as well. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, question number 5. At the end of this live, I will share with you a little insight about me, okay? So stay with me, okay? I will share with you a little bit of insights about me. Okay, question number 5. We have Rosie, Sharon, and Tanya. They have a total of $328. Rosie spent 3/4 of her money. Sharon spent 2/3, and Tanya spent 4/5. In the end, Rosie had 12 more than Sharon, and Tanya had 20 more than Sharon. Now, why do I box up in the end? Anybody knows? Why do I focus on in the end? If it's in the end, what must we do? Anyone knows? What do you think we must do if it's in the end? Okay, some of you are getting there. We must work backwards to find the start. Well, if we want at first, yes, we work backwards, something like that, yeah? Okay, the reason is actually very simple. We are given how much they spent. If we want in the end, we are looking for left. Therefore, your thought process must be in the end. In the end means left. Left means I must look for all the amounts that they have left. Okay, so we know that left is 1/4 for Rosie. For Tanya, left is 1/5. And for Sharon, left is 1/3. Okay, this is the reason why I go and look for all this left, because the question told me in the end. Okay, so that's my thought process. Anybody understand? So far, so good? Okay, so now that we know in the end means I must think of however much they have left, and because of that, I must look for the complements of this fraction. So if I have 3/4 spent, left is 1/4. If I have 4/5 spent, left is 1/5. And if I have 2/3 spent, left is 1/3. Okay? Alright, then what do I do next? The question says Rosie had 12 more than Sharon, Tanya had 20 more than Sharon. How much did Tanya have at first? Anybody knows what to do next? Anyone? Firdaus, fantastic. We can draw a model indeed. How do you know what to or what kind of techniques to use, I like to teach this to our lower primary friends, our P3 and P4s. Whenever we see keywords like more than, less than, or twice, thrice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, we can immediately think of comparison model, okay? So these are the certain keywords that help us to straight away think of comparison model, which is more than, less than, or twice, thrice, 3 times, 4 times, or whenever we are given a difference, okay? So yes, I will draw a comparison model. I've already